Hi, I'm Robert Begley, day 839 of my video challenge. Today, September 19th, back in 1796. From my Hamilton calendar, what happened? George Washington gave his farewell address. He's the greatest American in history, possibly the greatest human, but a close second is Hamilton, because Washington's farewell address was written by Alexander Hamilton while he took the ferry up and down the Hudson River from Albany to New York City. And in resigning after 2 terms, Washington set a precedent. He already, several years earlier, when he led the Americans to victory in the Revolutionary War, everyone thought he'd become a king. No, he said, I'm going back to my farm and become a private citizen. Then when the country started to get off the ground and the U.S. Constitution was written and ratified, as we talked about a few days ago, unanimously, Washington was the man they knew needed to lead the country in at least its first 8 years. And then he shocked the world yet again by saying, I'm stepping down. And I love how this is covered in the musical, Hamilton American Musical. Oh, those are the autographs by the original cast. But in Act 2, when he tells the song one last time, which in the prior version was called One Last Ride, when I saw Hamilton off Broadway, Lin-Manuel Miranda was still working out the musical. And so anyway, Washington basically says, I'm stepping down so that the country can continue without me. They won't be so dependent on one person. This is what America is all about, independence, and having places, having institutions in place so that not one individual, they're not at the mercy of one individual. But also, for the better part of at least 150 years after Washington stepped down after 2 terms, no one else, everyone followed that order until the would-be dictator, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, was elected 4 times and would have gone on until he died, which is literally what happened. And then there was an amendment saying 2 terms, that's it, that you can be elected. But the main thing, what Washington was saying, what Hamilton's words carved into and then edited, let me make that clear. Washington put it in his own voice and did make some edits. Basically, don't have factions. Have the country not get engaged in foreign entanglements. That was one of the main things he said. Okay, what are we doing today in America? And don't be so dependent on one person as a leader. That's all we do every 4 years. We think whoever the next president is will become our salvation. No, well, that's because so many other things are broken, which is not the purpose of today. But let's go back to how Washington stood literally above everybody before him and after him in world history. Nobody was like him. Thank you, George Washington, my first hero in life. Still, I mean, Hamilton's, it's 1A and 1B, between the two of them. America, someday we'll turn that corner, I believe, because we need to study history. And guess what? In 10, 15 years, the good guys will be the only ones who know how to read and write. So I'm secure in our future. Okay, we'll see you tomorrow.